1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, two, three, four. Okay, so I'm just on the same storyline behind the previous video. If I can be free to do this, then my work will be done. This is all I would have needed. I would have needed this flow. Although I still don't have a good camera right now. You know, I don't know how the quality of this camera is, but I don't think I need a camera at the moment. What I need is the flow. You know, once I have the flow, then we can get as many cameras as we want. I was just thinking something and I didn't say it. I didn't speak it. Why didn't I? It was something about being an evolutionist. Like anything you do, you would want to connect it to the qualities of being an evolutionist. It's good to have ideas about everything. I don't really focus my ideas on just one particular thing. I have, a few chosen categories, but I like to come up with anything which has to do with evolution. Come up with anything which has to do with evolution. Mostly in the lifestyle category, like in just your freedom of expression, like how socially evolved are you to be able to express yourself the way you want to. The music that we hear can change the routes in your mind in different ways, or you can probably steer it in different ways when you have a good sense of listening to music. You can use that as a tool like everything else to direct yourself for whatever you choose for yourself. At the moment, I've got so many big tasks lined up that it just doesn't necessarily involve one category. We're talking about recording guitars, we're talking about, I'm talking about which guitar pedal should I use, because I've already had all these things in the past. And I've sold them as well. I got some really good tones out of some pedals, but I wasn't here in the city. I think it's an art of being able to talk to yourself. Not actually to the camera, but you're actually talking to yourself. I mean, the camera is just, it's something very weird about the camera, though. It's just a point in space which has access. And how mysterious is that? And how miraculous is that? I mean, okay, let's not get into the details of it right now, but and the rear camera especially, not the selfie camera. And I don't know why they even put the selfie camera, because that's not required at all. The selfie camera is like a mirror, right? It does not show you the original image. I think only the rear camera, the rear camera is capable of recording the correct image. I would want to do an experiment before a mirror and to show you how the image that you see on the mirror does not exist. So if you're looking at yourself in the mirror, that image is not you. I mean, it is you, of course, but it is not you as it is being perceived through the mirror. It's all left side is to the right and right side is to the left, and they're all interlinked into each other. Right. Now, I don't want to see how mysterious is the mirror again, or how mysterious is the reflection again on the mirror. So the mirror is the material, is the mirroring. material which is also like a camera. But it's not the camera of the correct image, it's the false image of what you see, unless you were inside the mirror. But you're not out inside the mirror, you're outside the mirror. It's like the camera is looking at itself from behind without actually seeing itself. Or seeing a false image, rather, which you are not actually. What you are is the image that happens on another mirror kept to the mirror right angled. And then you see the real image on the second mirror. But it has to be kept right angle to it, which is the same image of the rear camera of your phone. So when you begin to talk to yourself, you will understand that there are certain things you need to do to actually talk to yourself. Because sometimes it's even difficult to understand that how is it possible that you can talk to yourself or just listen to yourself talk. So that you can learn from whatever you see or hear. Not that you should keep watching yourself. Because I use it just to understand how I react to certain things, or how I speak, or how my flow is about something. Am I really talking something interesting, or am I not making sense? So just to get the flow is what is important. Once we have the flow, then, like for instance now, I just forgot what I was speaking about. So it's like that. Although I know I can always talk about anything. Not like I have to follow a script. But the scripts are important for you to reach here, I think. I don't know how many scripts I've written to just know what to say, but now it's not working. I mean, now whatever I want to say is working. But I know I can refer to my scripts because my scripts still have some meaning to it. They have some thoughtful words in it. I thought just reading it out would be easy for me, and also I wouldn't have to really stress myself about talking too much, and I could rather focus on just the important part, which is just to understand the expression itself and not waste too much time. around things that don't have that value or that kind of importance to it. But I know that once in a while I am going to zone out, and I will have to, just for the sake of speaking, I'm going to have to just use my scripts, is what I think now is possible. And it's good I'm having this mentioned here so that maybe now you also know what the process is to just evaluate yourself and understand places where you can learn from yourself. Because this is something that I'm definitely not used to doing. As long as I don't have to make any sort of limiting beliefs for myself, I can just literally talk about anything. This is the table that I make the music on, but I've just kept my tripods over there because I thought, let me just make a video after getting high and see how it feels. And maybe this is not all that required every time. It's not all that required every time. We can use it just as a learning tool. But I don't want to let it go into infinity like that. I need to know where my mark is. So about the cannabinoid receptors is what I was saying, is that it should be left to work the way it should be. You shouldn't mix anything to it, especially opiates. I don't like opiates, it just makes you sleepy. And it's not worth it. So these are some of the things that I thought I would talk about for a few minutes to see if there are any changes in my voice, and I feel that I will understand after checking the audio file, which I haven't done for the previous video as well. So maybe all at once. Because what I want to do is continuously keep making videos, but right now I'm at the rendering stage. And as soon as I make a video, I need to edit it so that I can understand how this process is. Especially with the flow. I mean, I know the editing part and all that, but just with understanding the way I've done, as in just the way how I sound or how my voice is or how my expression should be, which I need to evaluate, and then we can move up a notch. And the next notch is just me exploring my audio files. There's plenty of them there are. And I want to bring the best of those moments and then back it up with some good ideas. because ideas are very important. It shouldn't be left to go. These ideas are like uh, jewels. It's raining jewels. Collect all the jewels, and diamonds are in the sky. Only if you can imagine it, that is, but you might be lucky to have it. I thought I will keep a raw format of the video without cutting it and stuff, but I think I'm taking too long to speak in between my sentences. I'm taking too long to speak in between my sentences. So I would probably, if it sounds weird or if it sounds um, like it's taking too much time, then I'm going to edit it. If it feels unnecessary, then I am going to clip it. I'm just going to make the video a little shorter, maybe. But I mostly want to see whether I'm making sense, whether it makes sense for me to record my voice for something that I aspire to do, or does that have any meaning for me? Is what I am testing myself for. Once that's clear, then I would get um, full controls over the journey I'm embarking upon. I think to be content is very necessary for your well-being. Can I make 2 videos every day? No, that's too much to ask for. Can I make 1 video every day? Maybe. That seems realistic without having to edit too much. I think it's possible. Because we have to move fast now. I can't let anything remain stagnant for a while. The faster we move, the sooner we experience. Somehow all that matters is whether you are in control of your surroundings, or at least with your time, whether you are in control with your time. To be the best version of yourself always takes time, which is why you should never rush it. Just let it happen automatically. But there are threads behind that make it happen. You have to concentrate on those threads that work like magic. If it's true that destiny is in your hands, then you would have reached enlightenment, I think. But what does enlightenment mean to you? That's just a word. Like we know water is what it's called, but as somebody said, water does not know that it's called water, or does it even care? We just use words for many things, but they are actually objects. They are just another arrangement in your vision. Like everything else. For a certain time, you get locked in to those arrangements, the way you see the walls in your room that they are, or the way you look in the mirror, or the way you look in the camera even. All these things are just for a temporary period where you're just living living it, you're living it for a while. But whatever you have is just temporary. You don't know where you would be after that. I think the life's goal should be to be able to design your next life the way you would want to see it, which only starts with your actions in this life. So, in order to have a next life beautiful, you have to perform well in this life. It's like, what was that game, Ludo? Do you remember Ludo? Not Ludo. Which one was that? Snake and ladder. Yeah, it's like that game. There was one ladder which was right on top, you know, and the moment you stepped on that ladder, you went right at the bottom. And were there others? I mean, the snakes would lead you right to the bottom. Oh shit! I said the opposite way. But the ladder would make you reach right on top. The what did I even say? If you want to get onto that ladder, then you've got to just be in luck. Or is there a strategy behind it? The dice is always in your hands. But what about the dicer? What about its preference? If the dicer is able to predict what the value is going to be every time, then That's what is called the correct flow. The flow has to be important. Okay, maybe we'll have to start part 3 now, because probably I wouldn't do any part 3 at the moment. I'm just going to render these files, and then I'm going to test it again if I need a new angle, or if I need a different type of a light. But I think this is good for the comeback. This is good for now. I mean, like I said, I did not lose it before, and I know that I'm not going to lose it. This is it's designed for me. I'm not designed for it, but it's designed for me. And I'm designed for it because it's designed for me. So it's like a system that allows you to know yourself, which is very interesting. To make every idea of your mind possible. To be very preservative of the important aspects of living, or having solutions that for the problems that you see around you, because everyone's problems are different around them. I mean, your own problems are very different from others around you, which itself has so much to say that how can everybody have different problems? First of all, we're not even all of the same gender. We don't even know what experiences can be imagined by somebody else, let alone their thoughts or choices or opinions. We can only have a judgment about that, but then that too is of no value. The only judgment you need to have is about your own mind. If that happens flawlessly, then you're in control. But until the time you're not in control, you cannot rush anything. You have to be very observative and keep yourself in check and not do unnecessary things unknowingly. To always keep a check. But I hope it does not change again next time. I want to be able to keep this flow, and mostly try to make it more connective. Not give too many gaps. Maybe that especially with the music, because I don't want to make extremely long videos as well. I want to compress the video and on the time scale so that it is well utilized. I don't want to just be thousands of frames just without the same, without a change. The control is yet again in your hands, and you can steer it to wherever you want to. It's not like this particular thing that you have to say, or something that you need to recall or stress yourself about. All you have to do is keep talking. You don't want to be talking anything in particular. You don't want to be using too much of imagination either. You should just be able to play with it. When you know how to play with it, then it becomes easy. Let me check the time.